Welcome to BIPAC News on the Jewish TV channel, where we work as a united bipartisan front to fight against the most serious issues facing the Jewish world. I'm your host, Jessica Imami, Senior Middle East Analyst, and this is BIPAC News. Now, you and I know in a post-October 7th world that the most serious issue facing the Jewish world is anti-Semitism. Anti-Semitism has had its worst manifestation on United States college campuses, and Columbia University is no exception. To that end, we are going to interview Asaf Ayal, an IDF combat veteran and Columbia University School of Social Work alumnus. He is also, until recently, the field educator at the Columbia University School of Social Work field program, where students earn their most important work, field hours, credits to field hours, and the knowledge of how to become a caring social worker. He's also the accidental founder of the viral Flip Your Diploma campaign, where anti-Semitic events on the college campus of Columbia University caused him on social media to hold his diploma upside down and resign publicly. This action went viral, and today Flip Your Diploma has spread to other college campuses and other types of staff members and students. Here in his own words to tell us his experience is Asaf Ayal. So I kind of gave a little vignette of what went on, but I want you to tell me in your own words, that moment that happened that made you react to what was going on in Columbia.
Okay, so this, it seems like it happened 10 years ago, but in fact, it was about 4 months ago. This all happened 5 days after October 7th. So I'm talking about everything was very new, everything was very fresh. The information was not out there at full extent. We didn't really know what was the extent of this whole of the massacre, of everything that happened. So I went to Columbia because I was invited to come to just like you said, a silent vigil to stand there in solidarity and mourn the lives that were lost that day. And I came to find a group of 500 of Jews and Israelis that were standing on the lawn in the main campus in Columbia. And they were standing with flags and pictures of those who were murdered, and also pictures of those who were taken as hostages. And they were standing there silently, just holding the flags and posters. And on the other side of the lawn, I saw assembling a group of about 500, what I thought back then were pro-Palestinian, but very quickly I realized that those are not pro-Palestinian protesters. Those are pro-Hamas protesters. And those are people who came to openly celebrate what happened on October 7th. They were cheering and chanting, and they were having a good time. And the Columbia authorities, security, they were standing between the two groups, but I thought to myself, I have to go and get into the pro-Hamas group to see very closely what I was seeing from afar. I had to see it and feel it for myself up close. So that's what I did. I went into the group. I'm not afraid of any of them. I think they're basically, most of them were just harmless, ignorant, lost young people. I went into the group and I witnessed it very, very up close. And it was one of the most disgusting things I ever saw in my life. People just came to celebrate. And I have to tell you again, that was before Israel even started its military operation. And they were already chanting all the well-known chants today. They were already, it was funny to see because it seemed like on October 7th, Israel invaded Gaza, took hostages and killed families, burnt them alive, and did all these atrocities. And then the Palestinians went out to protest against it. This is what it felt like. This is how upside down the world was when I saw it. And obviously, and we all know it's the opposite. And when I went to the Columbia University security personnel and officials that were standing there, I asked them, as you said, I asked them, "Hey, how are you allowing this type of hate speech in campus like that? What's going on?" They told me this does not constitute as hate speech. This is free. This is free speech. They can say whatever they want. We can't do anything about it. I asked them again, "Are you sure about this? Don't you realize something's not right here?" I explained to them what they were saying. The organizers did speak Arabic. That's maybe 1% of the people. The other 99% don't know a word of Arabic, don't know the river, don't know the sea, don't know Israel, don't know anything. But they spoke Arabic and I understood what they were saying for the most part, the chants, I mean,
What
and
were
it
they
was
saying?
horrible. They were saying that Palestine should be Arab completely, that there's no place for Jews or Israelis, Jewish Israelis.
So it was a
And
triumphal kind of chant, you know.
as I felt it and saw it, and I have a lot of experience with reading people as a social worker, and they were happy about their resistance victory.
Wow.
Yes.
So after that happened, you realize like the administration is not going to do anything. By the way, that's an incorrect response. You know, saying that hate speech is just permitted speech is totally incorrect from an administrative point of view.
Yes.
Um, how did you react? What happened after that? I mean, how did you process this whole event?
So it was very difficult. I left before it ended because I felt like I can't stand there anymore because I was
You
just
resigned.
disgusted. Yeah, so I left the premises. I went home.
Mhm.
I thought about everything. I then had about a week to think everything over, and I decided to finish my collaboration with this institution. I had been educating their students. The School of Social Work, it's the most important component in the School of Social Work program is field education. Is where the future social workers go to the field and really try work as social workers. And I was the one who was instructing them as an experienced social worker in the field of homelessness. This is what I do here in New York. So I decided to stop. I decided I cannot help this school anymore. I cannot invest my time, my effort, my expertise, my experience. And I decided to leave, and I sent them an email of resignation. And their response was very short. They thanked me for my many contributions to the school, and that was about it. And I left.
That is such a shame. They lost a great person, a great professional. I'm so sorry it happened that way.
Yeah, me too.
And as I understand it, the problems at Columbia continue. There was stuff going on yesterday from what I heard. Are
So
you
this
in
is,
touch with anybody there?
yes, I am in touch with a group of Israeli and Jewish students in the School of Social Work. Obviously, I'm in touch with the School of Social Work only. I have a good friend and an ally, a professor that is teaching there. She's Jewish. She feels very isolated, and it's very hard for her. So does all the students. I'm in touch with them. It never ends there. It started on October, I guess October 8th, but it started on October 12th when I was there, and
Uh-huh.
it's just getting worse and worse and worse.
So
And
you don't
people
see
are
any
Mhm.
improvement there from what you're hearing?
No, I see deterioration. It's getting worse. It's getting worse. The school is has completely lost control. They're not
Um,
stopping. There are some banned groups that were banned by the university, but they still do what they want to do. on the grounds, outside the grounds. It's just, the school lost control of the school, and the university lost control, and people are just doing what they want to. There's some horrible incidents in the school of social works, in the school of social work and other schools, and it's out of control. It's just out of control.
Yeah. I'm involved with some campus groups, and I'm hearing more and more that the pro-Hamas line and the decolonization line is permeating social work very specifically, very intentionally, and very
Yes,
expansively. I'm wondering, why have they chosen social work for this? It's it's interesting how they're going after all the social work schools and
that's
curricula.
right. That's right.
Why
To
that
me,
particular?
it makes perfect sense. Maybe most people don't know, but people who go to get their master's or bachelor's in social work, first, people who go to social work want to, generally speaking, want to make the world a better place, want to fight for social justice and equality. And these are all very noble and correct causes. This is why I did it myself. But when they come into those schools these days, and not only these days, but particularly these days, they are met with extreme indoctrination, with political agendas that meet them on day one. And those are young people who want to do good and want to change the world. And they just take those, great groups of people that are open to their world and aware and want to do good, and they funnel this energy into something different, something that serves their causes. Now, when I say there, I mean professors that are funded by money that comes from that part of the world. Allegedly, that's what a lot of people think. And other monies that come into the universities and allow all of this political ideology, rhetoric. It's just, you come at day one and they talk to you about oppressors versus oppressed, and colonizers versus the colonized, and the white people are the colonizers. And it's very simple. It's very black and white, while the world is much more complex than that. And it's oversimplified. It's easy to feed those young people with these theories, and they eat them. They love them. It gives them purpose. They're lost. They want to belong to something bigger than themselves. Social work as a profession is not lucrative enough. It's not big enough anymore. When most people today, all young people today, have a phone with TikTok, Instagram, you want to belong to some movement, and this fits so perfectly, and it's so easy.
Yes, and I think social work has such an expansive contact with all different kinds of communities.
That's
So
right.
maybe,
That's
I
right.
don't know, maybe that's why they're
You're completely right, because social workers, after they graduate, they can operate in many different areas in our society, from schools to hospitals to jails to big companies, to obviously where I work, the shelter system. They're everywhere. And if these little pawns in this whole scheme carry this ideology into all these places, they hold and they intensify and they grow, and then the danger is bigger to, those people are those the new social workers. This is my biggest concern. The profession of social work is in danger today. And when I say that, we need to understand that many people in need, people in impoverished populations, poverty-stricken populations, are going to be in danger, because people coming out of those social work school are going to be treating them out of a wrong lens. They're going to look at them and first look at their skin color, look at their background,
whether
look at
they're
their
Jewish.
they're going to look at all of that. And imagine a social worker coming to work in a school, and they have to give service to a third grade boy that happens to be an Israeli American. What will happen to that kid? That kid would not get the same treatment, the same service as others. This is imminent danger. And I'm pretty sure it's already happening. We have to stop this. And this is danger to our whole society here. This is real danger. This is a real moment. And we have to come against it and do whatever we can to stand against it and prevent this from happening to people in need everywhere.
So my understanding is that you are Israeli and you've been here about, you said 10 years?
Yes, yes.
Did you experience any discrimination or prejudice before this incident that you were aware of, or because of being Israeli or any other reason?
So I have to tell you, it's going to be a secret between you and me. I hope nobody hears. I came here 10 years ago. I was on this realm. I was asleep. I chose to sleep. I put myself in bed. I put the blanket over my head, and I didn't hear or see anything. I was focused.
You're not alone.
I know. But, I still say, let's keep it a secret. But, I'm not proud of it, but I'm happy that I woke up. And now I'm doing what is needed. However, I never experienced anything like that, with one exception. Again, going back to my first day in Colombia, and then the first 2 semesters, I was very quickly labeled as an oppressor because I was a combat soldier in the IDF. So they labeled me as an oppressor, colonizer. But I didn't really pay attention to that. I just moved on. I was focused on graduating, and I was focused on doing what I needed to do, and that was continuing my social work career and doing my very best to serve people in need in this city. This is what I'm doing. But I was asleep, and now I'm not. And now many of us are not, and that's great.
Sure. And as a matter of fact, there may have been something that you did in the service in the IDF that maybe connected you to what work you're doing today. There's a lot of people that want to sort of malign the IDF, but my understanding is that you had some kind of service duties in the Army. Is that right?
That's true. Yes. So when I think of why I wanted to become a social worker, I know I have an experience. I know the exact moment that made me think, hey, I want to be a social worker. I want to do something like that. I want to do good. So I was, as I said, I was a combat soldier, and we would go into refugee camps and villages and patrol there and do, the job we needed to do. Some of them were very hostile environments, naturally. So I remember one day while patrolling with my team, a group of very young children followed us, and they all looked very, very not dressed properly, slim, dirty. They looked very bad to me, and obviously poor. And they were begging for food. Now, I grew up in a middle-class neighborhood in one of the biggest cities in Israel. I never saw extreme poverty. I never saw any of that. So this was the very first time I witnessed firsthand this type of extreme poverty. And the next day, I packed in my gear, I packed some food. I packed whatever I could find, and we went on our way, and the kids came again, and we stopped, and we gave them food, and we gave them something to drink, and we talked to them a little bit, and they were very happy and thankful, and I was very thankful for this opportunity to serve others, and this kind of ignited this fire in me, and and this was the experience that kind of propelled me into the world of social work. I remember this very vividly. And now that I hear all those, again, lost young people that talk about the IDF. This thing we did is not special.
Yeah.
Many soldiers do the same things. Then they used to do it. Today they do it every day. This is how the IDF operates. And the IDF never targets civilians. Obviously, there's civilian casualties in war. That's terrible. That's awful. Nobody wants that. But nobody targets civilians. We want to minimize civilian casualties, and we want to help the population. We want to make sure they're safe. We're not after civilians. On the other hand, those who celebrate October 7th celebrated genocide, celebrated ethnic cleansing, celebrated murder and rape, because this is what the terrorists did. We never do that. We never did that. There is loss of life, tremendous loss of life in Gaza, but it's war. And this happens in war. But to take it to the individual, the IDF soldier versus the Hamas terrorist, there's a huge difference we all have to remember. We'll all have to know. And this is firsthand from an IDF soldier, combat soldier that did these things. So I hope
really
some
defies that, oppressed stereotype that they teach in social work school and in the books and things like that.
Yes.
Flip Your Diploma, which kind of took off in reaction to.
Yes. So after my experience at Columbia, where the group of pro-Hamas people celebrated the death of my people, my friends, my whole world changed that day, like many others. And I told you that I thought that everything, after witnessing all of that, my world went upside down. Everything was upside down. It was just, I couldn't grasp the idea of what was going on. And when I realized my university has abandoned me and is not taking care of my, not specifically mine, but my people's safety and concerns, and is not taking it seriously, and is allowing and enabling this to happen again and again and again on campus, in the school. There's many, many examples of what happened in the school, in the campus. When I saw this type of abandonment and how really everything is upside down, and it's so simple to understand good versus evil in this these days. Yes, but they still do not. So yeah, I decided to leave them, and I decided to publicly announce it with a Facebook post, while I took a picture of myself with my master's degree diploma flipped upside down, as
kind of like a flag when you turn a flag upside down.
Yeah, it's like a form of protest. I did not plan it to become a movement and viral on the internet, but some people saw it. It was shared a lot of times, thousands of times, and it got attention. I went live on Israeli TV a couple of times. A lot of attention, and some great people took the initiative and created this big campaign, and created an outlet for that, and are working very hard to promote it. And ever since they are working so hard to promote it, we got many, many other alumni from schools across the United States that did the same, that flipped their diploma, took a picture, and put in a powerful statement against the universities who abandoned us as Israelis, Jews, and not only.
Antisemitism campaign. Anti-Semitism. Yes, that's brilliant.
So I'll
put the link in the show notes later.
Yeah.
If you send it to me. Yeah.
That would be great. That would be great. It is catching attention, but there's many, many more things going on now on our side, on the Israeli and Jewish side. There's a big group of people right now that have been engaged heavily in documenting Jew hatred on campus, and they are documenting everything tirelessly, day in and day out. And it's a large group of people very dedicated to this cause.
So
And
students, administrators.
yes, and they're gathering a lot of evidence, a lot of evidence of Jew hatred, of anti-Semitism, threats, of violence, of chants that promote violence. All of that is heavily documented, and this could actually be a big game changer in terms of lawsuits against those institutions that are failing morally and failing systematically in with upholding their missions, their real missions, not what they
Yes.
say. And no, we all know what happened in Harvard and UPenn and MIT with the three shameful
Yeah, it was
presidents and
amazing how.
testimony. So it's pretty obvious what's going on. And if I would go into Colombia and take a group of 100 people and chant for the destruction of all gay and lesbian people, I guess the treatment would not be the same. I guess
Absolutely not.
if I would cover my face not with a kafia, I would cover my face with a white cone with two holes on my eyes and wave a Confederate flag and chant something in that that realm of KKK. I guess I would not be given the treatment. This is free speech. You can continue. That's fine. So when it comes to Jews, it's different. When it comes to Israel, it's different. So we're not going to let them get away with it so easily. And there's groups of people that are working very hard on doing it from different angles, whether it's legal, whether it's institutional, whether it's governmental, whether it's anything else that can help promote this, because this is upside down. This is wrong. We have to fight it.
Yeah, it's amazing how October 7th sort of took the masks off certain groups and people.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh, what have you yourself been doing since the time that I know you're a really busy person, but have you been joining in with any of these campaigns or
so
fill me in?
Yeah, I'm involved with it. I'm involved with a lot of things. I'm not able to really lead completely anything like that now because I'm a shelter. I'm a homeless shelter director. I have a lot of responsibility. A big family shelter in Brooklyn.
That's a big job.
That's a big job. I have a family. I have 4 children.
God bless.
And yeah, thank you. And I'm, as you said, I'm very busy, but I'm involved. I'm doing my best to help anyone in need with this. And I've been trying to promote this message anywhere I can. And I've taken the time to do that. I'm taking the time right now with love. And I will do it again and again and again. I'm not going to stop. We're not going to stop. We're going to fight it until the end because it's very simple. It's very simple. We just need people to realize how simple it is to see, to tell good from bad. It's so simple, and it's amazing to see how many people just are just so taken by this fashion, by this trend, by this TikTok trend, because. If we can really talk directly to them and tell them, hey, young person, you're lost.
Yeah.
You're brainwashed.
Don't believe everything you hear.
Please take the time to get to the facts. Listen. Don't let those puppet masters in other countries and other places with interest blind you and make you follow something that you might regret in the future. There's facts. And again, I say that every time I speak about this. I'm not saying Israel is perfect with what Israel is doing. It's not. And Israel has made a lot of mistakes. But bottom line is, we extend our hands to our neighbors with peace. And historically, this extended hand was answered by a slap, by war. And this is an historical fact. And we want to be good neighbors. We want to live together. But it seems like on October 7th, we all got a very big wake-up call. And speak for myself. Right? I I had very different ideas before October 7th. October 7th made me wake up.
Wow.
I understand things different.
That sounds like
And
part two for a second
yeah,
interview.
yeah, it's a different
Yeah,
world now.
it's really
Yes.
important. So I
Hmm.
am going to tell people about Flip Your Diploma. And as a matter of fact, I may flip my own diploma.
Please do that.
Yes.
And please
So
tell other people to do that. It's a strong statement. It helps. Every little gesture help, and this is an easy thing to do. Just need to take a picture.
yeah,
You don't have to show your face. You don't have to tell your name. You just need to join the effort. You need to join the ranks of people that are fighting for what's right and what's good. And I urge everybody to do that and do that today. It's not that
wonderful.
hard. Yeah.
So I want to thank you for coming to our show today. And
Thank you.
I hope to speak to you again soon in the near future. And keep up the great work.
Thank you, Jessica. You too. Keep up the great
Yeah,
work, and thank you
thank
for
you. That's it for this edition of BIPAC News. Check out jewishtvchannel.com for other news about anti-Semitism, Israelphobia, and education. jewishtvchannel.com. Also, check out my book at roman.com. It's called Social Media Victimization, and it is written about why people victimize one another on social media. For Jewish TV Channel, I'm Jessica Imami, your senior Middle East analyst on BIPAC News, and I will see you next time.